Hello, my beautiful Maitreya tribe, and it's good to be with you today. A little bit nervous for this one, I can't lie. Earlier on in the week, for those who saw the new moon vids, I had mentioned that I was working on some new material. Let's say it sounds fabulous, like a write or something. And so this is it. This is physically healing your self love. Okay, so sorry for those of you who are my Maitreya tribe. Hi guys, welcome back. For those who don't know me, I'm Mara Scalacci, psychic medium, Reiki master, and metaphysical teacher. Okay, so guys, for all of you who have been subscribing and liking, thank you so much, guys. It does affect the algorithms, and it's completely free and it's completely anonymous. So please, if you enjoy these, please, there will be a lot more coming out in the next couple of weeks, and then of course this will go out today, which is Sunday. Tomorrow we've got the goddess energy again. I'm back on track with that one. Okay, so we'll get our energy forecast for the week. Okay, so you have to bear with me for this one. This is taking up a little bit more courage than I expected that I would need for this. I suddenly sat down to do this. I was like, oh my God, what am I thinking? For those of you who are sensitive, and I mean this with the greatest amount of love in my heart, I am very lucky. I mean, it's like I'm going to swear at some point. So if it offends your sensitivities, please, I really don't want to offend anyone, but please, if it's going to offend you, please exit stage left. There is like 100% chance of precipitation with that. I'm just putting it out there. Right. Okay, so self-love is something that we are all actually here to do. It is one of the very core reasons of our souls coming into this incarnation, and any incarnation we go into. In every single incarnation, we face challenges. Our soul contracts us into different situations, different lifestyles, different bodies, different situations completely in order for our souls to grow. Now, in the coming weeks, I am going to be doing some videos on things like soul contracts, etc., just to give like very shortened versions of what they are, just so that people understand a little bit better. But with regard to soul contract, for those who don't know shorts of it, is that when we are sitting up there playing our harps on cloud nine, and we decide it's a really good idea to come back to Earth for God knows what fucking reason, because I'm not sure really. But when we decide to come down, we set up tasks for our soul. We set up lessons for ourselves so that our soul develops, because obviously I don't know if this has ever happened. I'm not all knowing, but the chances of reaching enlightenment in one lifetime, highly strongly unlikely. So we go through the lessons, we go through the different lives, we have contracts with different people. That's why we have soul mates, soul family, etc., because we've done lives with them before. Okay, so that's a soul contract in a nutshell, is something that we contract ourselves into up there before we come down here. Good luck and Godspeed, because I've done some crackers this lifetime. Right, so one of the things that we contract ourselves into is self-love. It is the core reason for us to be here. Understanding that we are all connected and that everything is love. The universe, the highest vibration in the universe is love. It's the frequency, it's the highest, it's the most cathartic, it's the most powerful, it's the most miraculous. Give something love and it changes. I mean, I've been sitting thinking about doing this video for so long. And I thought, how do I explain to them how love can change things? And, we look at adopted animals, and we look at, how they're taken as strays and they're brought into homes, and their whole little personality changes and everything changes for them. But let's take something really random. I mean, those are like, we see those as something that have souls, that we see animals as having souls. We know this, right? But let's take a plant. I mean, look at these experiments that people do, that the kids do, where you feed one plant love and you feed the other one negativity and criticism and that stuff. And the plant that's fed love thrives. It absolutely thrives. And so love is transformative. It's the most powerful energy on earth. Okay. Putting love into anything changes the game. So self-love is a big one for 99.9% of us. Okay. I'm yet to encounter people who have completely gotten to that 100% self-love vibe. And I'm not talking about the pseudo false, the pseudo false. Oh God, first word sounds like the pseudo self-love, where it's actually verges on that empty kind of hollow egotistical arrogance. That's not what I'm talking about, or vanity. I'm talking about the true core of self-love, where we make decisions for ourselves, where we set boundaries for ourselves, where we honor ourselves. Okay. And so what I decided to do was I have been guided to actually do a workshop on this. So in the next couple of months, I do want to do this really, really well. So it will take some time to formulate. I'm going to do a self love workshop in the next couple of months. But in the meantime, I wanted to get people to understand, because I'm so sick of seeing people who have so much value to add to this world playing small, and this includes me because I'm the worst for this. Sorry, the curly hair is there for a reason. I promise you, it's you'll see now. Um, Playing small because we don't love ourselves, because we can't see our own value. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this. If this year has shown us anything, it's shown us that we need to stand in our power. It's shown us that we need to appreciate what we have and see the value in what we have. It has categorically created vast, I don't even know what the word is, just these absolute differences in paradigms between the haves and the haves not. And I'm not even talking about just the physical stuff. I'm not talking about, yes, we talk about poverty and things like that, but I'm talking about just in general. I really feel like this anti-coronavirus has really brought out the worst in some people. Like, I've seen people and I'm like, oh my God, what were you thinking? What just happened there? So we've had these massive like rifts, of these massive like gaps between the haves and the have-nots in every realm, in every possible way, right? Um, and I'm tired of it. We've all got so much, especially as women. So if there are men out there, please understand that this is not a woman-only thing. I know there are a lot of men. I've got some of my closest people who struggle with this, and that are men. But generally, women, I think also just given our social history and understanding that in order to clear our social conditioning, we need to clear our sacral chakra. We don't often work on that. We don't often focus on clearing our sacral chakra for the social conditioning and the ancestral stuff that's also carried on our base chakra. So we carry a lot of that old mentality with women, like where we are seen as the fairer sex, but actually what they're saying is the lesser sex. Okay, and I'm not trying to be feminist. I'm getting into that argument, but there is a mentality in women for sure. Okay, and so I have been doing a huge amount of healing. You hear about it. I'm very honest about it in all my videos. And one of the things that has really come up for me around this time now is self-love. I've got to get serious about it. I've been going on about trying to lose weight and all of that, but I never make the decisions that I need to make in order for me to move forward and actually do what I need to do, which means I'm not making decisions from a place of self-love. I'm making decisions from a place of ego, where I need to self-soothe or just mostly self-soothe, to be honest. It's normally an emotional thing, but it's not coming from a place of self-love. Okay, so I decided that, you know what, I need to seriously look at this now. And this new moon that's come and gone, with other healing that I've been triggered to do, I've started releasing a lot of my old stuff, or a lot of past stuff. I did a really big ritual this last new moon, um, and I wrote letters to people. I will talk to you about this now, and released a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start. I know I've been waffling a bit, but I'm going to start with something that's very hard for me, because I think that a lot of people say, how do we actually heal self-love? How do we actually start? So I don't know that this will work for everybody, but I can tell you that this is how I've been working through it. And I can see an absolute change in myself. I know that my weight stuff is very deep-seated, and I'm constantly having to clear out the layers before I can completely get that right. And that's not an excuse. It's not something to delay my diet, not dieting, but my change in lifestyle. That's all coming. But I'm doing the stuff that superficially has made me hate my body for so long. And so as a child, I was very much a tomboy. I don't know how my family didn't see me being gay, but anyway, we'll go with it. I was very much a tomboy, and I was always in the wars. I mean, I was falling off walls and slicing my arm open. I would literally land on the only piece of glass in the yard, like, but I would find it and I'd land on it. I'd slice feet open. I was, constantly doing things. And when I was younger, as all kids do, I got little growths on my hands. Okay, so now please just bear with me through this, because this is leading to something, I promise. And my mom had a general practitioner that we used to go to, and he decided no, he had to remove these growths from my hands. Mom didn't want them, he didn't want them, and all of that. Now, he did that, and he's done serious damage to my hands, which I'm going to show you. Just might take a moment, just be with me, because I need to be brave for these things. These are my physical things that I'm not in love with, that I have to just get out of the way. But he did the operations on me, and he has left me scarred. So when I hold my hands up, this is something that's really bugged me, because as a child I used to bite my nails. So when I started growing my nails and I could paint my nails and I could have pretty hands, I still couldn't have pretty hands. So if you have a look at my hands, you'll see that this finger doesn't have a nail, because he did the surgery and he killed my whole nail bed. So I in effect have no nail there. And I used to try and paint it, and I used to try and cover it, and I've gotten to the point now, as I'm getting older, I can't do it anymore. I don't have a nail. He's also damaged my thumbs. Okay, so I don't have normal looking thumbs. You can see on like this side here, the skin doesn't come up like normal people would. Now that's something silly, I get that, but it's your hands, and I talk with my hands. So when I'm doing anything, my hands are very much a part of what I do, whether I teach, whether I'm reading, it doesn't matter. My hands are always in the spotlight. And it's something I've hated about myself since it's happened. Okay. I have something I can't show you now because it's not going to just appear, but I have a lazy eye on my left eye. So I've got astigmatism, and one eye is long-sighted, the other one's short-sighted. And so when I'm really tired and I yawn, sometimes I have a lazy eye. I was given curly hair. I mean, what the fuck is up with that shit? Seriously, who gives somebody curly hair? Like, really? I have got, and it's not even like I've got those long, I've got that nice thick hair that will carry the curl. No, I get the fine, right. So I've hated my hair from day dot, like from absolute day dot. And then on top of that, I had a very bad accident as a child. I promise this really is going somewhere. I had a very bad accident as a child, and I was nearly left paralyzed. I fell 2 stories off of a foofy slide, landed on my feet on the ground, and I broke nearly every bone known to man, including compressing my spine. I lay in a hospital bed for 3 days, not being able to feel my legs, and they thought I was going to be paralyzed. There was a very real chance of it. So as a result, I got an orthopedic surgeon who, I don't know whether it was because of ego or just because of overwhelm, but I literally had shattered joints. My wrist was shattered. It wasn't just broken, it was shattered. My right ankle was absolutely obliterated. Okay. And instead of pinning me, he just kept on putting plaster of Paris on in the hope that it would fix itself. So I'm now literally, I'm not, don't like this word, but I am deformed with that. I have an ankle that it doesn't matter how thin I get, I never have a nice ankle. I don't have nice legs. And I have a wrist, if you can see, that is skew. It's literally skew because he didn't set it properly. So why have I told you? Oh, and then of course with that, I wasn't able to exercise, and I have had a weight problem. Um, I've got a photo here. I'm not sure if I should show it. I have been absolutely, I don't have a slider image of it, so that's why I can't put it on the screen. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but my weight has been something that I have struggled my whole life. I went on to my first diet when I was 2 years old. I was 2 years old. Let me explain what that does to a child. It's absolutely heinous. You constantly, from that age, are taught that there is something wrong with you that needs to be fixed. So I've had to look at this all in the big picture over the last couple of years. And obviously, I've picked up weight again after my divorce. And the last couple of weeks, I've been doing some really serious introspection. And now, especially with Mercury and retrograde and Mars and all of that, I've really been looking at this. And I have to say, and it's something that's been very, very hard to come to terms with, I've had to acknowledge that I have contracted myself. Obviously, this is very much about me physically loving myself. That's obviously my self-love hurdle this time, and I know it's a self-love hurdle for a lot of people. I understand that. People who don't like the color of their eyes, or don't like their teeth, or don't like the way they stand, or their height, or their weight, whatever it is. Okay, so I've made this very difficult for myself to love my body. Let's be honest. I've contracted into so many broken bones, I can't even tell you. I've contracted into funny lazy eyes and freaking curly hair and dodgy hands and oh God, I mean, you name it, like it's happened. And I've started realizing something. When I started doing all of these YouTube videos properly, like in about April when we went into lockdown, I was chatting to a very good friend of mine, and she gave me very, very, very sound wisdom. I said to her, I don't want to go back onto it. I said, I know I started last year and I did YouTube, I said, but I don't want to go back on. I'm still fat. I haven't lost the weight. And I didn't want to face the world big. And she said to me, my angel, she said, just do it. At the end of the day, what you can offer somebody, if you can help somebody, which is what I'm here to do, it's my service. I'm a 22 number, a 22 life path. So I'm here to master service. If you can help somebody, that's what you're here for. They don't care what you look like. And so over the last couple of weeks, I've been sitting with it. Obviously, I threw myself into it and I got the Fat Girls Guide going because I'm still writing the book and that kind of stuff. And just bear with me. It's not that I've forgotten the Fat Girls Guide for those that follow, but I'm at a point now where I'm trying to catch up writing and then still have something to present. So just bear with me. Um, I've started looking at the things that I bring to this world. That's not always easy to do, but because I don't see them, I then look to what others say. And because I read energy, it's easy enough for me to pick up what is authentic or not. So I have started looking at the messages that my friends send me saying on Facebook, like I'm always putting funny shit up on Facebook, always. And 9 times out of 10, it's inappropriate, it's completely inappropriate, or it's dark. I've got a very dark, sinister sense of humor. So it's it's normally inappropriate or dark or there's a swear word thrown in there somewhere or something like that. It's me. It's who I am. And in this journey of healing and stuff like that, I've been more comfortable with doing that stuff. Okay, because I'm becoming my true self. My physical being is one of my final hurdles for that, I think. And I look at the comments about you've made my day today, or thank you for always putting something funny up because you make me laugh. And the messages between my private friends, like when something goes wrong, thanks for always being there to listen. It's those things that I'm taking in. And I know we all get them. I'm not special in this. It's not like I'm saying that I'm something special because of this, but it's looking at where I come in with my business and the feedback I get from my clients when they're like, this has changed the game. And again, it's not me, that's my team, but I'm the telephone. So I look at that and I go, okay, so this is how people view me. This is how people see me. Why can't I see me like this? Is my meat suit, my little meat wagon that I'm walking around in, is it so important that I can't actually see my true value, that I can't see what I'm talented at, that I can't see my humor, that I can't see? Is that really so important? When these things in some way can be changed. And I've really looked at that seriously in the last couple of weeks, and I've had to go, it's not that important anymore. It's not that important anymore. And I think one of the reasons I've really wanted to do this video, and it's I can't lie to you and say it is an easy video for me to do, because what you can't see on this side is the feelings, and you can't feel the butterflies in my stomach. You can't feel that little slightly sick feeling that I feel doing this, because this is like putting the absolute, what I see as the physical worst of me out there. It's bad enough people knowing that I'm big, but like these are now really pointing out the things that I keep hidden from others, that I try and hide from others. But I'm not hiding anymore. I can't do it anymore. And I really want someone out there watching this to go, I'm worth more than that. You're worth your intellect, your humor, your kindness, your compassion. That's the stuff that changes the game. That's the stuff that people will remember you by. And I look back and I think I was sitting down. My mom and I have been talking a lot lately because my dad, who died before I was born, has been coming up a lot lately for a specific reason. And my mom's always told me that he was so loved because he loved life and he always made people laugh. And I suddenly realized, like, I didn't know what I wanted my legacy to be. I didn't know I don't have children, so it's not like I'm going to have a family legacy that I leave behind. I wasn't sure what I really wanted my legacy to be. And I had been sitting down with a cup of tea and I was sitting on my veranda wall and I was looking out at the sunset and I thought, what a beautiful legacy. What if my legacy is to make people laugh? What if it's to get people to understand that there is still value in you, even if you don't feel like you are physically worth it, if you are worthy of being loved, especially by yourself? especially by yourself. And I've been sitting with this the last couple of days. I had this idea to do this video a week ago. It's taken me a week to pluck up the courage to do this, and I literally mean that. This is not procrastinate. Well, it was procrastination, but it was because of sheer fear of exposing all my underbelly, vulnerability. I'm learning to be more vulnerable, but it's a difficult one for me because normally when I've been vulnerable, I have actually been hurt. So it's always it's a kind of like that programming. But I'm starting to realize that if I stop focusing on what I don't like about myself and I start focusing on the things that I do like about myself, um, I'm going to be able to leave the legacy that I want to leave behind. I'm going to be able to do the things that I want to do with love and passion and no limitation, because my weight limits me in every possible way. Like I've got to try and do Facebook lives now and shit, and I'm like, oh, for the love of God and all things holy, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Like, so now I must go Facebook live, Instagram live with this like fat. And bearing in mind, let's just put this out there because I have to own this. It's not like it's motivated me to like go into some massive exercise program and shit like that. So let's also just be clear about that. I'm well aware of that. I take responsibility for that and I own it. I'm not ignorant to that. But it is really about starting to see the areas in your life where you can shine. And it's a choice, guys. It's an absolute choice. Every time I sit down in front of this little camera, my laptop that I'm recording, and I do my things, even if it's the goddess stuff, even if it's the new moon or the full moon, it's a choice to do it, because my desire to live the life I want to live, to be of service for my legacy, is far greater than my dodgy finger. It's far greater than my wonky wrist and my dodgy ankle. And I hope that somewhere out there somebody hears this and goes, oh my God, and some kind of penny drops. Because you guys, I say this in my posts on Facebook, but I don't think people really fully understand it. The universe does not make mistakes. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. So every one of us that are here, we are needed. We are unique. We are absolutely unique. You know, I have a default setting of humor. It's like a factory setting. I can't hide it. Everyone goes, oh, you're hiding emotions. I'm like, bullshit. I deal with my emotions. Of all the people on earth, and everyone's like, oh, you're a Cancer, you're so emotional. I'm like, oh, please do me a favor, please. I've got so many bloody points of Aries in my sign and shit like that too. So, let's just be honest here now. But at the end of the day, I work my emotions. I know my emotions. But you've got to start now deciding what's greater for you. What is your greater drive? This is the year, guys. This is the year. This is the year where the divine feminine steps into her power, sees her beauty, sees her magnificence. Don't waste this energy. We are all unique. So my default setting of humor is what will set me apart. I mean, I was having a random conversation the other day with one of my absolute favorite people, okay? And him and I were chatting, and we were talking about a whole lot of stuff, like healing stuff and all of that. And I said, I've often wondered, like, some of my family are quite prone to depression. I was like, I've often wondered, like, if I haven't maybe experienced depression or whatever. He's like, oh, please do me a favor. He's like, you can get miserable. He said, but then you still have your humor. Your humor may swing very far to the dark side, but your humor is still there. He's like, when you are depressed, you don't have humor. So I was like, okay, well, then I don't identify with that, because then I've obviously never been depressed before, thankfully. But what I'm trying to say is, find what is you. Okay, it's not going to be humor for everybody. Some people it's going to be compassion and kindness. Some people it's going to be courage and bravery. Find that. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you needed now. Okay, we can't all be on some global scale, but the people you can help are the people around you, the people that come into contact with you every single day. And you know, I'm a big one for honesty with my friends, and just in general. I've experienced deceit, and I've done the deceit thing, and it just causes hurt. It's not worth it. If you can't see, or you aren't clear on exactly what it is that people love about you, ask them. Ask them. Because if I had to go to one of my friends and say to them, oh, I don't know who I'm talking to, like Chooks, say, for example, I go to my Chooks and I say, Chooks, what is it that you love about me? Should give me the answer, as would any number one of my friends. Okay, so all I'm saying to you guys is regroup, realign. Okay, we have a massive, massive full moon coming up. It's a blue moon. It's the hunter's moon. It's about pursuing your dreams. It's about going for that bigger picture. See the bigger picture. And I'm going to kind of end off now because this is a whole lot more wafting than I'd intended to do. But see the bigger picture here. Okay. And what I'm going to say is you cannot move forward from something unless you take responsibility for it. And that's not to say that if you have suffered abuse or anything like that, that is your fault. Okay. Please understand, I've dealt with this before. There is a vast difference between blame and responsibility. If you haven't seen the video, there's a video further down on my YouTube channel. Go and check it out. There's a whole video on blame and responsibility. We're talking about responsibility, acknowledging your role in a situation. Okay. All right. It doesn't mean you are the cause of the situation. It's acknowledging your role in it. So when I've sat here looking at my hands, and I'm like, okay, so I do the best I can. I still paint my nails. I still try and get them to grow nicely and look decent all the time. But when I look at that, I go, I contracted into that. What is it here to teach me? What is it bringing to the table for me? How do I work this to my benefit? Okay. And when you can come to that realization and that conclusion, so it doesn't matter what you're facing in your life that you don't love about yourself, you have contracted into that aspect of your life. You have contracted into it. What is it showing you? What is it bringing to your table in order for you to heal, to fill one more piece of your soul so that you're creating that whole kind of wholeness and going towards your full soul capacity? Okay. It changes your perspective. And I'm going to say something to you, and it's been really, yesterday was a bad day for me. I was triggered, six freaking love. I tell you what, from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed last night, everything just triggered me. And that's okay. I'd had the massive release the night before, and I understand why. There was anger and irritation and frustration that had to be released, and I sat with it, and I just did the best I could in that space, and then I released it. But generally, my new whole vibe is that the universe is constantly conspiring for me, not against me. What happens to me happens for me, not to me. And there's a very big difference in energy around that. There's a huge, huge difference in energy around that. And when you start seeing things like that happening, okay, you're going to start understanding that you can change the game. You can change the game. You can change how you feel about yourself. And the minute you start loving yourself more, the more you become authentic. And I mean, there are posts on Facebook that I have literally put up this year that I would never have dreamt of doing. But they have made me laugh so hard that it's not even funny. And the funniest thing is, this is the absolute truth of it. Those are the posts that normally get the most likes, the ones that are the dodgiest, like the dodgiest posts, the dodgiest memes, the most like I literally have spat my tea out when I read them before I've posted them. Those are the ones that people are relating to because that's who I am. I'm a little bit dodgy. I've got a filthy mind. I have got a filthy, filthy, filthy mind. I can't hide that. Like, it's not something I show all the time, but and then there's like the bad language and all of that. And you know what? But I'm me. I'm me. I walk my life with kindness and gentleness, and I try and do the best for everybody, including myself now, that I come into contact with. So if that is not enough for people and they can only see the fact that I'm a bit dark and sinister and have a bit of a dirty mind and a bit of a foul mouth, then they're not my people. And I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. You're not meant to be everybody's person, and not everybody is meant to be your people's. So I really hope that you guys take something away from this. That you see, check out the curly head. See what I mean? Couldn't just give me straight hair just to make my life a little bit easier. No, I had to contract myself into bloody curly hair as well. Sweet baby Jesus in a blanket. So all I want you guys to walk away with, and know this from your core, is that every single person is created unique. There are things that only you can offer this world. And if you spend your time focusing on finding out what they are, as opposed to worrying about what you feel are your downfalls, your deformities, your letdowns, okay, the game will change for you. And it needs to change for you. Your game can't change for anybody else. I've done the losing weight. I mean, I lost 120 odd kgs, 21 kgs or something when I was with my ex-wife because she wanted a skinny wife. And then I lost all the weight and then we separated and broke up. So then I picked up all the weight again because why? I hadn't done the work. I hadn't seen my own value. My motivation was to make her happy, not to make me happy. Okay, guys. So I really hope that that somebody takes something away from this. I hope it wouldn't have been guided otherwise. I know that a lot of you don't, and I've had a couple of you private message me to say thank you. I know you don't like putting up comments on the YouTube ones. I get that. But I do hope that someone can benefit from this, because you guys, we are all beautiful souls. We are all one. We are all of the divine, and the universe doesn't make mistakes. The divine doesn't make mistakes. So if we have all got divinity within us, we cannot be a mistake. We cannot be wrong. So I am sending you loads and loads and loads of love. I'm going to put all my details on the bottom. If anyone should wish to do like a life navigation or is struggling with this and wants to book a session, I will have my details on the bottom. For the rest of you, I'm sending you all so much love. Mwah! Blessings of the goddess, and I will be back tomorrow with your goddess energy reading for the week. So sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful Sunday. Love you all lots. Bye.